Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of NuStrength Sugar Babes. And on this show, we are all about helping women build a body that they love while freeing them from restrictive dieting and binge eating, because no one likes to eat bird food. And the problem that we see in the fitness industry is that everyone markets to you that you need to eat less and do more and kill yourself with cardio. And, you know, you see all these fitness models and Instagram models and Kayla Itzstein, and, you know, they're all just literally starving themselves. Like, I think, oh God, like I see their lunches and I'm like, how do you even survive on that? But what those diets do, I think, is trap women in this vicious circle and cycle of restrictive dieting and just excessive training. So they never actually get to where they want to be. And then over time, they develop digestive issues and menstrual cycle issues and, you know, sleep issues and all those things. So you never get the body you want and you end up feeling like shit and you have to eat rabbit food. So our mission is to free women and teach them about food and training and, you know, how to love their bodies and educate them so that they know what foods work best for them. So today I've got my lovely friend, Karen. Karen you've been with us for a while now, hey?
18 months.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So Karen is a hairdresser, as you can probably tell, because her hair looks awesome. And she also makes these cool shirts. So, like, they've been really popular in our gym, obviously, because they're for women who like to lift heavy and that love to eat real fucking food. So, what's your website called? What's your page?
It's liftheavy.shop.
Okay, so if you want a really cool shirt, like she's got like I'll deadlift for food and I'll squat for food, and they're actually really nice quality and really awesome cuts. So if you love lifting like us and you love food, get on there and grab one of her shirts. So yeah, Karen's been with us for 18 months now, and you know, when she came in, she was, you know, probably like I used to be, done all the restrictive diets, you know, training in the gym a lot, doing a lot of cardio, but she just couldn't quite get that toned athletic look that she wanted. And she also suffered from some digestive issues and menstrual cycle issues. And, you know, just I think like most of us women, just issues around food, because you're just restricting yourself all the time and you go through restriction binge. So maybe if you could just share with the viewers, what were you doing before NuStrength, and how did it actually affect your life?
So I was looking for answers. Really, that's what it all came down to. I wanted to feel fit and, you know, energetic. I wanted to look better than I felt like I looked at the time. I mean, I was little. I've never had a big weight issue, but still I had, you know, a goal that I wanted to achieve, and I was just up to 6 and 7 sessions a week, mixing it up between, you know, pump, generally classes. Sometimes I do some PT, and I was just, the food really was where it came down to predominantly for me, because skin issues, digestive issues, and I just couldn't find anything that was sustainable. That was the most frustrating part. You know, it always initially feel better. So like I did low to no sugar for 2 years, and I was on my soapbox preaching that. Little dairy, because I thought I was lactose intolerant, and you know, living on nuts and seeds and legumes, and restricting my calories, you know, generally always swinging between whatever new diet I could give a go, you know, low carb, high fat, a soup diet, intermittent fasting, meal replacements.
All of it.
You know, but always coming back to just, obviously I just can't have as many calories anymore. So just before I joined you guys, I'd done a pretty hardcore intermittent fast leading up to my 40th birthday, and wanted to be super little and, you know, feel like I was fantastic, and I was wasting away. But yeah, I'd been basically like under 1,000 calories a day for that week. So
can you imagine eating that?
No, that's my first 2.
What are you eating now? What calories are you eating now? What are you up to? 24, I think you were telling me that.
Yeah, we're experimenting again, because I've, you know, just working it out, going with the process and not beating myself up as I go. we're sitting now 21.
Yeah.
And we'll stay there for a few months and just see, well, for a little while.
See how you go. Yeah. You've doubled your calorie intake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There's definitely days where I need so much more, depending on what's going on in the gym.
Yeah.
The training programs. So yeah, that's fantastic. It's quite liberating.
Oh, I know. It's just so nice to eat, enjoy food again and eat real food. So talk a bit about, obviously you've come in, you've started the program, you've changed your diet and you've changed your training too. So now you only train 3 days a week and you've been focusing on getting super strong. So how has that changed? Well, let's talk about your body first. How is that? Because I know you've said to me, now I've finally got that athlete, and you look amazing always, and you got this great ass, and you look athletic. You look like you lift. So what's the difference between the training that you were doing previously versus what you're doing now?
I don't have a love-hate relationship with it. I actually just love it. I used to dread going, but knowing that I needed to, but also enjoying, okay, that was my time, work, kids and all that. That was, I could go to the gym and just be in my own space for a while. But you know what? I used to go there and I'd sit in the car park sometimes and I go, do I want to do that class or will I go and do something else that's just not going to be as awful? It was dreadful to get through and as punishing. Now, I turn up early and, earlier than I even need to a lot of the time because, it's just this beautiful social component to our gym and, you want to be there. You look forward to your next session. Yeah.
And you've got
love the weight training. Love it.
You've gotten strong, right? You've progressively gotten stronger. Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever think I think that's probably a real missing link for most females, and I was the same because I always thought that to look toned, I needed to do more. So I needed to just lift weights, but I never actually lift weights and progressively got stronger. I didn't have that connection or that link there. And I thought that I needed to do cardio to get the fat off, but all I ended up doing was just running myself into the ground and feeling like crap. Whereas now, yourself included, we've progressively gotten stronger. So we squat, we bench, we deadlift. And over time, we gradually add bit more weight, bit more reps. And we're increasing our strength, which therefore, if you can lift, how do you lift more weight? Well, you need more muscle. So I think that's a big missing link for women. They think that they need to spend hours and hours in the gym. So you've obviously saved yourself heaps of time. And let's talk about the nutrition. So what's some improvements you've seen since, changing your diet and eating more and eating sugar and dairy?
Well, like I said before, I thought I was lactose intolerant, but as soon as I cut out nuts, seeds, and legumes, no trouble with dairy products anymore. And that was a rapid turnaround. And I always feel like fruits, dairy, they're just foods that when I consume them, I feel like it just feels so right to be eating these things. Just feels so natural. Definitely I had improvement in my skin, digestion. I had mouth ulcers that actually started from when I started menstruating. So 12, 13 years old, I started getting mouth ulcers basically every cycle. It was a rare occasion where I didn't have mouth ulcers, and often up to 5 and 6 at a time. And it was only just a few months ago that I had one through an injury, just I bit my gum and then I ended up with one again. And I was like, I don't have these things anymore. And then I realized that it's because, again, cutting out that bird food, that stuff that I was eating so much of, the polyunsaturated fats, that's just been a big eye-opener for me to how, I'm quite sensitive to them. So I really have to make sure that if I know I'm going to have them, even eating out of the restaurant, and if they've cooked the meat in polys, then I could get a response to that. So, make sure I'm very extra careful for the days around that. So, all improvements. No more bloating and gas and trumpet bum.
Do you feel like it's really freed you?
Absolutely, because I was constantly questioning, okay, if I eat this, what, how will I exercise to offset that? Or if I have a bigger meal, of, if I go over my calories, and, if I go to 12 or 1300, whoops, then I'd go and slog myself at the gym. And there's all of this constant questioning and trying to balance everything out so that I didn't get a weight increase, or, so not having that constant dialogue going on in my head, amazing.
Oh.
And just feeling like I've got answers at last.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Hey, it's this journey, I think, because you start to really get in tune with your body, and it's quite freeing that you know that you can actually give your body what it needs, and you can eat things like ice cream. Like, how good's ice cream? Do you know Lick's got this new flavor, fig and honey? Oh my God, it's incredible. Have you tried it? Oh, you should try it. It's the best. Do you like fig?
Oh, yes, love figs.
Get it. It's amazing. I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. And like, do you ever, sometimes I'll think about like what it used to be like to eat like that. And I think, do you ever imagine going back to that?
No.
No.
Absolutely not. I don't like sometimes just for logistical reasons, I'll have to walk from my daughter's school to home, and it's about a 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
And other than looking at houses, I do not enjoy it at all. And yet I would, go and jump on that treadmill and do
me too.
intermittent runs and sprints and whatever. And no, I don't miss it. No.
Yeah, me neither. I take Winston for a walk every day. That's what I do. But I don't even know how we used to do it. But we, obviously we work with women, and some of the main objections that we get from women, and you're actually a mother yourself, is that I think it's more particularly, I find it with mums more so than women that don't have kids, but it's like they say to me that they don't feel like they're worth investing. It's worth investing this in themselves. What would you say to a woman that is thinking that?
It's such a natural part of being a mum. You definitely think that you've got to give all of your time and money and focus to the kids. But if you're in such a state that I was so distracted with what I was thinking about, food, exercise, that I wasn't mentally present to give my kids really what they deserved and needed as much as I should. So, I think when you're sleeping better, and so your mood is better, and you're not frustrated with how you're feeling, and that's where the payoff comes, and you're gonna give better to your kids and you'll be a better mum. Definitely found that as well. And you're setting an example for your kids, especially daughters, I guess, that this is a great way to be, and you end up with such a better appreciation of your body, and a better body image, that kind of so that's definitely going to set them on the right track.
It's funny that you say that too, because I can remember my mum, like, she's always doing some sort of diet. Like, she was always trying to it's interesting. It's like, I think that too, like, I feel if I ever have kids, I just really want to, like, especially if I have a girl, like, shelter her from that fitness industry, and teach her about good nutrition and fueling her body and understanding her body, and like, just get moving, do something that you love. Obviously we love lifting. You don't need to go and kill yourself on the treadmill to be skinny. Like, skinny's out anyway. It was so 90s. And the other objection that we get is money. So, what would you say to a woman who was, thinking that this is too much money to spend on myself, to invest in myself?
I think that you've got to decide that you're worth it first and foremost. And that like anything good, you've got to make some sacrifices, and if that's what's needed, then you can have a look at things and go, oh, maybe I don't need my nails done, or maybe I don't need new clothes this often, or maybe I can shop somewhere. You can definitely make adjustments, but if that's what is needed. But the other thing is that I eat more food than I used to, but I spend less on food.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of money I was spending going to, you know, organic places, trying to buy loads of nuts and seeds and alternate flours and sweeteners, things like that. You know, I don't spend anywhere near as much on food, and yet I eat more and enjoy it more.
I think too, you waste less food. I find because you eat everything that you buy, whereas I used to spoil this dumb shit like that, and then I wouldn't eat it, and then I'd go and binge eat, and I totally get that. And the last one is time. So we get a lot of women say, I'm too busy to do this. Like, would you say, well, obviously, one, you're training less, so it probably gives you time back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been spending close, you know, 8 to 10 hours previously. And like even on a week where I only went 4 times, that would be 5 to 6 hours by the time you've, you know, factored everything else in. So yeah, I mean, at 30 minutes a session, you know, sometimes they're a bit longer, but that's okay. You know, a tops of 2 hours.
Yeah. It's like, well, I even think, because I'll probably train for an hour, 3 hours. 3 hours a week of training.
Yeah.
Especially if you like, if you have a bit of a chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Building community. I think too, you know, you've got to realise that when you look back, what would you regret more? Will you regret not giving it a go? Not thinking that you had time. And actually, you look back, and I think if you're honest with yourself, you could turn Netflix off. You could stop scrolling Facebook, you know, and go to bed earlier so you can get up earlier and fit it in the morning. I mean, my daughter wakes up early, and she's old enough now that, you know, she can eat a banana and watch Netflix while I go and do an early morning session and everyone else is asleep in the house. You find a way, if it's important to you, you can make it fit.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Karen. And, you know, like, we love having you in our community. You always contribute, and, you know, you haven't obviously been perfect, because no woman is ever perfect. But you've really progressed over time, and you've become a really good lifter, and, you know, you've really applied the nutrition and made it work for you and found what works and experimented. And I think your mindset's really good about it. You sort of like, you're like, oh, let's try this and see what happens. Like, let's just test and measure. And, you know, you really take ownership of where you're at and your results. And, you know, like, you have an inspirational body, which I'm sure that every woman in our gym would love to look like you. So keep inspiring everyone with your big squats and your big deadlifts. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on the show. And I will obviously see you, because you're doing my hair now, but like, I'll see you in the gym as well, probably too. Awesome. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.